Here, the Mom Strategist. I'm so excited to be here. I am so excited about this topic today. I'm going to be teaching very simply what an up-leveled vision will do to you. Yep. What an up-leveled vision will do to you. I'm Redrick. I'm the Mom Strategist. I support clients with both life and business success. You can always check me out, hey LaShonda, at miaredrick.com or on Facebook, Mia Redrick, the Mom Strategist. Make sure we stay connected over there. We stay connected even beyond Periscope. I'm a business coach. I got started in my business over 10 years ago. I made the decision to simply go to work as myself. I decided, you know what, I want to take what I know how to do professionally, which was I was a corporate trainer, and I want to package my know-how into a product or a service that I can serve the world with in my own business. And maybe you can relate to that. Maybe you're great at what you do professionally, and you're looking at how can I take what I know how to do, my advice, right? How can I get paid for what I know? Hey, Duran, thank you so much for sharing my quote the other day. I appreciate the shout out. I am so excited because I decided to follow that still voice, right? And as a result of doing that very thing, it changed my life. And I've had the opportunity, fast forward, to be able to go to work as myself, to service thousands of clients with understanding that you can take your background, your gifts, your education, your talent, your know-how, and package that into a monetizable products. Hundreds of my clients are authors. More than half of them are #1 Amazon bestsellers. Many of my clients have made $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $10,000, $25,000. They have products that they're selling for that amount of money. I so want to do what you do, right? You want to do what I do, you got to do it. Come on, you can. And you know, I was just saying, I just did a message to my community, and LaShonda, you're going to see it in a little bit. And I was saying how, isn't it the coolest thing to see someone come up in their mind's eye with an idea of how to leverage what they know and create a package for $5,000, right? And sell it for the first time. It's pretty magical. Or watch a client. I have a client who was selling their product for $39 when I met them, and now they're selling that same product or different products for $10,000 and $15,000 each. You know, it's amazing. You know, I have a client that I started working with this year. She was selling her product for $97 for 1 year. And after working together, within 6 months, she hit over $109,000. Yeah. Creating products that she started selling them for $2,500, $4,200. So why am I saying this? I'm not saying it because it's not just about the money. It's literally understanding that what you know is very valuable. People will pay you for what you know how to do. Most of us take it for granted. And if you just knew how to package your know-how into a product or service that you could serve the world with, you could change your world and the world of the people that need to know what you know. And that's what I get to do professionally every single day. I get to work with giants. Like my clients, that's what I call them. They're giants. That's what they call themselves. They're smart. They're sharp. They believe in self-investment, and they believe in God. And the thing is, you know, you can't change your world if you're not an action taker, if you're not a go-getter, if you don't believe in investing in yourself, because that's what it takes. You guys know the ABCs. You know, as a result of running this business, one of the greatest ahas for me was, some of you guys know the story. My husband developed kidney disease 8 years ago and went on dialysis. And this was like crazy hard for us. My kids were young. My oldest was 11 years old. My daughter was 8, and my youngest was 5 years old. And at that time, man, I'm like, he's on dialysis 15, 18 hours a week. So you guys know this is a very aggressive therapy. And one of the things I was so grateful for was that, one, I had built a business that allowed me to be free, so I could be there for my husband in the way that he needed me. I could be there for my kids in the way that they needed me because I did not have a job. I also love the fact that my husband, because we're both self-employed, he didn't have to think about going back to work. We could just focus on his health. So what I'm telling you is that if you build a business, a profitable business that has sustainable success, it will be there for you if you ever need it. And that's what I'm into. Now, I know a lot of people want to talk about flash cash, and that's a different channel. But this channel here is about you building a business based on some solid principles that when you need it, it'll be there for you. And Pat got a kidney transplant 3 years ago. He's doing amazingly well. You guys know this. He's my doodle bug. And we're about to celebrate actually 22 years of marriage this December 29th. It's like amazing. I'm so excited. But I love the fact that we were able to hire for him a private physician so he could get an elevated level of care right through that surgery. And I love the fact that he could rest like he needed to so that he could heal like he needed to. And he didn't have to run off to some job. And that's a blessing. That's, to me, one of the greatest blessings of building your business properly. You know, as a result of running in this business, we've been able to give our kids an amazing education. And we've invested over $740,000 in elementary, middle, and high school. And I tell you this not to brag. I tell you this because I know there's a mom or dad out there listening and you want to give your kids a world-class education. And to me, running a great business is a tremendous way to be able to do that. Or maybe you just want freedom, right? I'm into that. Like maybe you just want to enter the office when you want to enter the office. That's me. I go to work out every day, and from 10:30 usually to about 12 o'clock, 12:30 at the latest. And then I come to my office after that, right? Yeah, absolutely. That was a major blessing to my family. You're absolutely right. And that's why I love sharing it with everyone, because people always talk about money, 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 you know, on a lot of these channels. But at the end of the day, money is a tool, and that tool can change your life and stabilize your life. And that's the benefit of building your business the right way. That's what I'm into. Now, if you guys haven't shared on Twitter, on Facebook, on Periscope, please do, because this is going to be a great scope. I'm going to be teaching today what having an up-leveled vision will do to you. Okay, I know you want to know what I'm talking about, because I'm going to break this all the way down. I've got today 11 simple points. I'm going to run right through them. My goal is to move you forward, is to create that shift, like to get you to think a little bit differently so that tomorrow you'll show up like the giant that you are. All right. And for those of you who are just joining me for the first time, it's nice to virtually meet you. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I'm a business coach, and I support clients with both life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com. That's my website, or Mia Redrick, the mom strategist, right? All right. Yeah, that is a major blessing, being there for your family. Absolutely. You know that's right. Or you can connect with me here by hitting that little guy here on Periscope so that you get notifications when I come on if you start liking what I'm talking about, right? Was that a repeat bot? Yeah, okay. You know, I get it all confused. Okay, so if you guys are ready, I am ready. Okay, what an up-leveled vision will do to you, okay? And so the reason that I wanted to come on here today, thank you. You ready? Okay, you ready? The reason that I wanted to come on here today and talk about this is because, you know, one of the things that I like to challenge my clients to do is to have an up-leveled vision. And what I mean by that is that there's the thing that you want to do, right? Think about it right now. There's something likely that you can see that you're like, I would love to create amazing success in, and you're thinking about a particular area in your life, right? Or in your world. All right. But then think a little bit taller about that. I want you to think a little bit higher. Think about if you could have whatever it is that you wanted, what would that be? Okay. And if money was not an obstacle, if time wasn't an obstacle, if ability wasn't an obstacle, if distance wasn't if you had all the resources in the world to do the thing you wanted to do, what would that thing be? Okay. And to me, that's an up-leveled vision. Because sometimes when people create or talk about their vision, they talk about it in the context of what they believe is possible. But to me, an amazing vision is one that's limitless. When the thing that you really want to do without thinking that, you know what I mean, without thinking what you cannot do. All right. And this is the benefit of thinking this way. An up-leveled vision, the thing that you truly want, right? And that you're like, man, if I got that, that would just get me so stoked and fired up. It will do a couple things to you. Number one, it's going to make you stand tall. There's something really amazing about an up-leveled vision. It'll make you stand taller than you are right now. And the funny thing is, I was mentioning earlier how I've had clients this year. I've had so many clients that hit six figures, you know, in their businesses, but they were in their businesses and running businesses for many years that weren't profitable. What happened? Only thing that happened was that they began to have an up-leveled vision for themselves. And they had a vision that they thought, man, if I really get this thing, it got them really stoked. And as a result, they could get fired up about the action that went along with it. The challenge is that some people are too afraid to dream big. They're afraid that, man, if I dream that big, it might sound silly, who am I going to talk to about it? Or what if I don't get it? So they take that dream and they water down the thing that they really want, and it doesn't get you stoked or fired up. The benefit, I'm telling you this, the benefit for an up-leveled vision is that what it will do to you, it'll make you stand taller. You start thinking about who you need to become to grow inside to make the dream, the thing that you want to happen. Does this make sense? Meaning you start to realize, like, I'm going to have to change and grow, like to do this thing. All right. I'll give you an example. I remember when I wrote my very first book, and I decided I wanted to do a corporate partnership with the Fortune 100 brand. But it was my very first book, okay? And nobody really knew me or Redrick, right? And I was like, that's what I wanted. So I decided that I would start pitching for this Fortune 100 brand that you guys all know was Panera Bread Corporation. And in order for me to do that, I had to stand tall. That means that I had to take care of my brand. I had to invest in me. I had to show up differently in my company. I had to put systems in place in my company so that my brand would be a brand that would be attracted to a Fortune 100 brand. And you know what the results were? I closed that deal. I got my first corporate partnership with a Fortune 100 brand because I had to, number one, stand tall. There are no hearts, but I'm going to break this down. Anyway, for those of you who are understanding this, which is when you have an up-leveled vision, you can no longer, sit. You have to stand tall in order for you to get it. But it gets you stoked because you start thinking about on the other side, what if I close this thing, right? And as a result of that, I went on, I got a corporate partnership with Panera Bread, did 2 deals with them. Corner Bakery Cafe, Great Harvest Bread Company. Yes, absolutely. Why? Because I decided to stand tall. I've got a frog. Well, let me drink some water 1 second. That's because this is good stuff. I'm getting over a cold bug. Number 2, the second thing you need to keep in mind that why a up-leveled vision and how it'll change your world is that it'll make you stop hiding. Now, for those of you who are, here's the thing. If you're brilliant and you're amazing at what you do, it's very easy to hide because you don't always get called out when you're very talented because you're already doing something that's at a high level. But the thing is, giants need to be in the company of other giants, right? Because when you're around other giants, then it's your ambition level and above. And if you're not going to get called out to show up like a giant, okay? And I will tell you, I know this is true. So that means, hey there, darling. I'm breaking this all the way down, Colleen. So it will make you to stop hiding. So for those of you who have been having that big old bodacious dream, but you don't really have to move or do anything different if you don't tell people about it, what you're going to do. If you're not in the company of other giants, nobody's going to call you out. They're going to say, wow, you're doing amazing things. But you know that there is more for you, and you know that there is more that you can do. Is that making sense? All right. Is that making sense? All right. So to me, when you have an up-level vision, okay, what it will do for you is it will call you out. And that's what you need in order for you to achieve that, right? It will call you out. You can no longer hide because there's no place to hide. Like, you're completely out there. You've told the world what you're going to do, this big old bodacious giant thing. I'll give you an example because this always helps. I told every single person, I know, Colleen, you know this is true, right? I have a frog in my throat. I'm trying to, let me drink some water 1 second. Probably because I get so excited and I'm getting over this cold bug. All right, number 2, it'll make you stop hiding. I'll tell you my example. I told every single person, I can't believe this, right? I told every single person, yeah, my cold, yeah. I told every single person that I was the world's number 1 mom strategist. The mom expert, right? I put this on my book, and I'll never forget it. I was working with this great Madison Avenue branding guy, and he suggested that I tell everyone and put it on my book, Time for Mommy, 5 Essential Strategies for Mother Self-Care, that I was the world's number 1 mom expert, the mom strategist. That's a bold claim. But I'm going to tell you what it did. That was an up-leveled vision, okay? And it made me, I had to stand tall as a result of that. I had to grow into a person that could manage that, okay? And I could no longer hide. I could no longer play small. You can't play small if you're saying you're the world's #1 mom expert, okay? You got to show up. You got to grow up. And that's the benefit for so many of us, right, of having that up-leveled vision. I hope I'm convincing you. Number 3, okay, it's going to make you show up. You're going to have to show up, right, as a result of you having that up-level vision. You're now going to have to show up and do something different. You are. You're going to have to show out. You're going to have to ask for the sale. You're going to have to show up. You're going to have to grow up. And I will tell you that may mean you have to grow up in your brand. You have to grow up in your business. You have to do amazing things, right? So you're going to have to show up. You're going to have to grow up, because that's the magic of growing into your brand. Your up-leveled vision requires that. It was interesting because I started thinking about things that were congruent with where I wanted to be. If I wanted to get corporate partnerships, I started thinking about, where are the places that I need to be that would be something that they would really be interested in. And I started thinking about television, and I started thinking about, news articles. I started thinking about what could I write. Started thinking about being featured in magazines and things like that. Why? Because that's what happens. As a result of having an up-level vision, you start thinking about things that are congruent with where you want to be, right? Kindly, I'm going to take this off. You know what? I shot a bunch of, how did I do this? I shot a bunch of really great videos today, and you'll see them. You guys will all see them, but I'm getting hot. All right, so you're going to have to show up, and you're going to have to show up, and you're not going to be able to hide, and you're going to have to stand tall in your gifts. And it's interesting because what you start to ask for is very congruent with that vision. You understand what I'm talking about? And it's interesting because a lot of times when I see that people are playing small, it's only because the vision is small. If you're playing small, if your actions are small, it is only because your vision is small. I want you guys to hear me. Number four. Okay? The next thing you'll notice when you have an up-leveled vision in terms of the changes it'll make in you is that you start to offer your best. Right? Like when you are showing up like a giant, and the giant that you are, you no longer want to offer things that are like, you know what I mean, that are average. You start offering your best. You start thinking about, is this the highest and best way that I can use my gifts? Is this the highest and best audience that I can serve? You start thinking about, is this the highest and best platform for me to be on? Right? And the fact of the matter is, it's because all of these things work in tandem together. That's why, to me, working with a coach is so important, because your coach will get you to play a higher game, to get you to stop hiding, to get you to stand tall, to get you to show up and grow up, right? And to get you to serve from your overflow, from your highest and tallest place in terms of how you're going to serve the world. Most people, I will say for me, most people that I work with, if they had the opportunity to sell whatever it is, most people serve from a really basic and average place, okay? Meaning if they had a product that was 10 grand and they had a product that was 5 grand and they had a product that was $1,000, they think instead to sell the $1,000 thing first. And most people think it's easier for them to sell that $1,000 thing. And that has to do also with, not having an up-leveled vision and having the confidence to know that it's actually easier to serve from your overflow than serving from your lack. Like if you're serving people in your business and you're not giving them the best parts of you and you're not giving them all of those best parts, they're serving from your lack. And so because you're serving not with your highest level of gift and services, you're not going to be compensated that way. Conversely, if you give from your overflow, you serve with your highest and tallest gifts, you're always going to be properly compensated for that, because that's your best stuff. That's what you do really well. Okay. And I'm just calling it out. Like, for those of you who maybe you've never thought about this before, or maybe you have, but every time you go to sell something, you're selling the lower ticket thing instead of the higher ticket things. It is likely because of your vision. Okay. And you need to up-level your vision. You need to up-level what you want. I start thinking about, the kind of service that I want to provide, right? I start thinking about the kind of service that I want to provide to my clients. I start thinking about the kind of giants that I want to see out in the world, with people who are affecting change, creating all kinds of legacy for their families, creating stability in their families. I start thinking about things like that. And that gets me really stoked, because that is truly, for me, an up-leveled vision. Like, it gets me excited to see that my clients are just doing something amazing. All right, number 5, right? What an up-level vision will do for you is it will scare you. So, yeah, okay. So you can't have an up-level vision and not be scared, okay? That means that every single thing that you're doing, likely, you've never done it before. Likely, everything that you're asking for is ginormous. And if you get it, you're going to really want it. But it's a scary place. It's called the skinny branch. But that's how you know you're being challenged for change, right? For elevation. When you are out there serving from that place, you are going to be scared. That means that you're asking for sales that you never had before. That means that you're opening doors and walking through doors that you've never been through before. That's the point. That's what elevation looks like, right? I love an up-leveled vision for that reason, because you start to sit in your mind's eye and you start seeing things happening to you that you're like, you dreamt about it. You didn't know exactly what it was going to be like, but you start to see it happen in your world, and it's amazing. One second. But it is scary. And I was saying to some of you guys on Periscope a couple months ago how I've had a lot of moments like that. But one of the scariest moments for me was definitely when I had shot for the Ricky Lake show. So I had gotten signed to come on the Ricky Lake show as the mom strategist to come on to help families. And I did that. I went on, I shot my segment. And I want you guys to think about it this way. Imagine that you show up to shoot a show and serve a family. And so it was like 2 13-hour days. So I'm with the family, I'm supporting them and with strategy, and it's working great. Now, the next day, I'm going to show up in the studio, and at that time, Ricky Lake's team, they're going to show the audience my clip, which I have not seen yet. Okay. And then I'm going to be interviewed by Ricky Lake about what happened with the family, right? Okay, great. This is beautiful. The funny thing is, I'm sitting in the audience, but imagine I'm watching me while they're watching me. Okay. That's a scary place. I haven't seen what I've done on camera. That's a scary place, right? And it's an awesome place. And so when I tell you that when you have that up-level vision, there are going to be things that are going to be happening to you. And when they're happening to you, they're going to be gigantic and they're going to be big, okay, for you. But they're going to be scary for you also. But you can do it. And I want you to know you can do it. All right. That's what it looks like. All right. There's no roadmap with the big. Number 6, what an up-level vision will do for you is it will make you get your systems and your products right and tight. Okay. So for those of you who have products and services and systems, and maybe they're broken right now, when you have an up-level vision, you start getting those things right? Because you have to. There's accountability around that process, right? There's no roadmap with the big. There's no roadmap. Nope, there isn't. You start getting your systems right, and you start getting them tight, and you start getting your products and your services together because you're in it. Like, sometimes when people don't have an up-leveled vision, they aren't really out there serving the world 100% and able to hear completely what people want from them. There's something really magical that happens by serving from your overflow. You start getting systems right. People start hearing you, asking you questions. You're doing the same things over and over again. You start to learn what works. You start to learn what you could do better. And as a result of that, you start to build systems, inner systems, but business systems. You start to build a flow and a process. You start to realize the products that work really well for your company and the services that sell really well and the ones that don't. And that's what an up-leveled vision looks like. If you don't have an up-leveled vision, it means that likely you're changing your products every 2 days, right? Every 2 days. Why? Because you're not thinking about servicing, millions of people with your product. Think about Apple for a minute, or think about Microsoft for a minute, right? The fact of the matter, they've been selling the same things for years, right? They just tweak the products. They just tweak their vertical product line. That's all they do. But they're amazing at it. They got their systems right. They got their systems tight. They're fine-tuning their products. They're fine-tuning their service. That's what great companies do that have an up-leveled vision. When they're thinking about servicing people all around the world, by the millions or by the billions, right? They're not thinking about having a product here today and gone tomorrow, right? They plan for the expected future, all right? And you will also, to me, that's one of the greatest benefits of having an up-leveled vision and not a vision where you're just trying to get customers in the door, make a little money in and out. If you've got a long-term vision for your business, right, that's what it looks like. Car companies do it all the time. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Number 7, okay, if you have an up-level vision, you have to associate up. Here's a tip. Hear me, guys. If you have an up-level vision, it's going to be very important because it's going to make you. You're going to have to associate up because those are going to be the only people that can relate to you, and they're going to be the only people that can help you, and they're going to be the only people that are speaking the same language as you, okay? Because when you have an up-leveled vision, the thing is, you want to be in the company of people that see what you see. And if people don't have up-leveled vision, right, they might want to finance you. There could be tons of great opportunities. Thank you, LaShawanda. I appreciate that. So you're going to have to associate up. And I will tell you that associating up, what happens is you start being in the company of people who are having a conversation. Thank you. Who are having a conversation about things that you're like, whoa, I didn't even know this was happening, but you need to know it. And you're at a level where it's time for you to learn these things. That's what's amazing. Absolutely. You are in new rooms, all right, with a whole new conversation. And that is going to grow you and stretch you. That's the benefit to me of having an up-leveled vision as well. Number 8, an up-leveled vision also, others are going to want to know what you are doing. All right. When you have an up-level vision, let me tell you, the song Shine Bright Like a Diamond. Okay. There's so many songs like that, right? But think of it this way. When you have an up-level vision, you stand out. You're scarce. Okay. And as a result of that, people are going to want to know what you are doing. They're going to say, what are you reading? What are you doing? How did you do that? That's how you know your vision is up-leveled. Okay. It means it's not ordinary. That means there's something extraordinary about it. It means that it's shining in some way. And I will tell you that sometimes we feel comfortable with it and we can own it. And other times we feel uncomfortable with the attention. And I see this a lot with people who become brands and they do a lot of really great work and then they get a lot of attention and they start pulling back and they might say like, I'm just not ready for that. Or they'll talk to me about humility. And I'm all into humility. But I also think that if you build a great and amazing brand, just like you would say what isn't great about what you're doing, say what is great about what you're doing, right? And be able to breathe it in, like the good stuff that you're doing. But I will tell you that is one of the benefits of an up-level vision is that others are going to want to know what you're doing. And there's the positive part of that, which is admiration. And then there's the part that's not as positive, maybe, depends on how you look at it, which is called creative duplication. Okay. So people don't want to copy things that they think don't work. People want to copy things that they think work. Okay, just think about it. All right, and you can't be afraid of it. It's just part of what happens. You have to speak the language of successful. All right, number 9. All right, the next thing to keep in mind is what an up-leveled vision will do to you is that it's gonna make you scarce. It's gonna make you rare. It's gonna make you, you know what I mean, in a category of 1. And that's a pretty cool place to be. So this is why I always tell all my clients, just be yourself. Be you. Be authentically 100% who you are. Own it. You know what I mean? Rock it. Do it. Be all of who you are. You have a unique story and message that if you just stand on your story, there'll be something amazing about it. There are other people out there in the world that when they hear your story, they're going to connect with you, resonate with you as you. All right. And one of my favorite books is You're Born an Original, Don't Die a Copy. And that's really because what makes you scarce is what makes you valuable, right? Okay. Well, you know, creative duplication is sort of like, I always say in any world, right? They're not really haters. They're only lovers, right? Because like if somebody admires what you're doing so much that, you know, they've studied you so much, really your haters really like, they love you, right? Because they've like studied you, okay? To the point that they're like obsessed in some way with what you're doing. And they often know what you do well. A lot of times better. They know what you do better than you know, right? So that's really amazing. In terms of creative duplication, you know, you're scarce, you're rare. It doesn't really matter. No one can do you but you. And I've always taken comfort in that. I'm sure that there are tons of other mom coaches out there doing great and amazing things. But, you know, what I'm going to do tomorrow has nothing to do with whatever they're going to do. I was put here for a purpose. And that purpose is as unique as my fingerprints. And I'm good with that. And I know that what makes me scarce is what makes me valuable. And I will tell you that your up-leveled vision is your vision. You're calling your life. And your goal is to find out, why are you here? Why were you given that incredible vision? And what are you supposed to do with it? Who are you supposed to serve with it? And when you figure that out, you'll have overflow. You'll have prosperity, because that's why you're here. Okay. Number 10, an up-level vision will make you wealthy. It will make you wealthy in many ways. Monetarily, it'll make you wealthy in terms of your fulfillment. It'll make you feel alive. That kind of wealth that like most people never get to know why they're here and to get to live that out, that calling in their life, in their world. And I will tell you that type of wealth, it's like unspeakable joy. You guys heard of that word? Unspeakable joy, right? Those words, unspeakable joy. That's what that is. Unspeakable joy is being able to do something that brings you absolute wealth, right? It fulfills your soul, your heart, your mind. It stabilizes your family, right? And, you know, I think that is, to me, something that is absolutely amazing. And my husband says this all the time. He says, look, you're incredibly blessed because you know why you're here and you get to do it every day, right? That's wealth. Like, think about it. Like, it's wealth. I was just telling my team members, I said, look, what I do professionally, it doesn't create stress for me. It's my art, right? A friend says wealth's not rich, right? I always say, you know what? I get to do what I love to do. My work doesn't bring me stress, and my team will not either. You know what I mean? Like, I love what I get to do professionally, and my team's not going to make me not like what I do. If that's the case, they got to go. You know what I mean? And that is my philosophy, because in my vision, this up-level vision that I have for myself to be able to serve the world with my gifts, I get to do that every day. And I realize my responsibility is to protect that. What a great, amazing gift, right? That we all have the opportunity to have. And number 11, that an up-leveled vision is going to make you be accountable. You're going to have to be accountable. You're going to have to be accountable to somebody You know what I mean? You're going to be accountable to yourself. You're going to have to be accountable likely to other people at a high level. Typically, most people with an up-leveled vision, you're accountable to someone. There's some level of results that are associated with you doing and showing up and being amazing, creating the results that you deserve and you desire and that you're capable of. Okay? And there are no hearts tonight, maybe because it's 11 o'clock. But I'm just saying, it's a good thing. An up-level vision is going to make you be accountable. And you'll want to be accountable because, you know, that vision you're going to realize is an incredible gift. And you want to keep it alive. You're going to do whatever you need to. And you're going to willing to, in that moment, you're going to be willing to make investments that maybe you've never made before. I mean, I've made investments in coaches and teachers and trainers. Why? To protect what I've done, you know, because when you have an up-leveled vision for your life, you realize like, man, what can I do to go to the next level? You know, what can I do to support more people? And as a result of that, you start to be accountable in a different kind of way, right? For that dream and for that vision so that you can show up like the amazing giant that you are. I hope that this has supported you guys. Let me quickly recap. Did this support you guys today? What an up-leveled vision will do to your life. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I support clients with both life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com or on Facebook, Mia Redrick, the mom strategist. Make sure you sign up for my website or go over to my page. I talked about today 11 simple ways that an up-leveled vision will change who you are, And number one, it'll make you stand taller. You'll start doing things, you know what I mean, from a different place because you can't play small anymore. Okay, that's what's really great about the highest, tallest vision for yourself. You will stand tall. Number two, you will stop hiding. You can't hide. See, when you've got giant moves and giant vision, you can't hide anymore. Everybody sees you and you become, you know what I mean? It becomes a lot more transparent that you got to show up and do the things that you say you're going to do. That's why people get scared. Number three, you're going to have to show up. You're going to have to show up. You're going to have to show out, and you're going to have to grow up. All right. And that means that even if you feel like you can't do it, you can do it. All right. And number four, you're going to offer your best. All right. And that's what's great about an up-leveled vision is that you're not just breaking off crumbs of what you can do. You're serving from your tallest and highest gifts. All right. You're giving it all. It's all on the line. Right. And you realize it's a lot easier to serve from your overflow, right, than your lack. All right. Number five. You know what? It makes you scared. There's no way you're going to be out there hanging from that skinny branch with that up-leveled vision and not be afraid. Everything you're asking for, everything that you're doing, you haven't done before, but you're going to play to win. Absolutely. Number six. Okay. You're going to get your systems right and tight. You're going to create your products. Your services are going to be better and better. Because you're gonna now be in flow. You're gonna be doing a lot more when you have an up-leveled vision. You're in action, right? So you're gonna have a lot more that's happening in your world, and as a result of that, your systems are gonna be getting tighter. Your interviews are gonna get better. Your media is gonna get better and better and better because you're showing up. And that's what happens when you have an up-leveled vision, right? You get plenty of practice. Number seven, you start to associate with the best up. And you realize that you have to associate your ambition level above so that you can grow. Okay. That's what you have to do for an up-leveled vision. Number eight, others will want to know what you're doing. They're going to ask you, what are you doing? How did you do this? Tell me. People are going to want to know. All right. Okay. I hear you and you're listening. Okay. And number nine, you're going to be scarce. You're going to be rare. You're going to be in a category of one. Isn't that an amazing place? You're going to be an influencer. All right. And that's what it looks like. You're going to be a thought leader. All right. And that's a great thing. It's a beautiful thing. Number 10, you're going to be wealthy in all the ways that we think of wealth, right? You're going to be wealthy, obviously, in terms of prosperity financially. You're going to be wealthy. You're going to be wealthy because you're going to be fulfilled. You're going to be doing things that so you're calling your purpose. You're going to be living that out every single day. And that's going to bring you joy and happiness. And I can attest to that, right? You're going to have wealth in the truest sense. You're going to have the things that you do and touch create change in the world, right? Like, think about it. The things that you're putting out there in the world are going to be able to save the world. Yes, you're going to be living your dream. And number 11, you're going to be accountable. You're going to want to be accountable because, see, the thing is, when you have an up-leveled vision, you start looking at what's at stake, and you're like, wait a minute, this is a lot. I got to make sure I get this right. And so you are going to be an investor at a different kind of level. You're going to be investing in your mindset. You're going to be investing in your mind, your heart. You're going to be investing in your energy, your stamina. You're going to be investing in yourself so that you can do the things that you see this vision is manifesting for you. And you're going to want to protect it and protect the gift and whatever it takes for that. It's really one of the reasons that I love to weight train, because it makes me strong. It makes me strong, and I love being strong. So that's it. That's what I want to share with you guys. What was your aha as a result of being here today? Anyone want to share one aha as a result of being here today? Hey there, darling. Any aha? Also invest external of the self. Absolutely. No doubt about it, right? You're going to be investing externally? Sure. You're going to be investing internally? You're going to have a different mindset around investing. You start investing at that level in what you need, right? You start investing in the things proactively, not reactively. You start investing because you protect all the things that you have been working so hard on, right? And that's the reality, right? So, and then you kind of understand what your value is to in a different kind of way. When you have that up-leveled mindset, you start to realize, like, wow, I am my number one asset, right? Because you've seen it at work. What was one aha or takeaway that you guys heard as a result of being here? Aha or takeaway. You're going to try and catch a replay. Okay. Up-leveled vision makes you scarce. Absolutely. It does. It will make you scarce. And up-leveled vision is going to make you in a category of one. But isn't that amazing? Like, there's just one you. And that's what makes you amazing. That's why I would say creative duplication is like, it's not powerful because you're not being all of who you are. You can't be a version of someone else, right? You can't be a better version of someone else than they are themselves. When you enter new rooms, okay, up-level vision is necessary to up my game and my brand. That's exactly right, Shawanda. People are afraid of their greatness. They are. And, the reason they are is because you have to step into rooms you've never been in before, but you can do it. And that's what's necessary to up-level, is to go places that you have never been before, things that you've seen in your mind's eye that are fully available for you. Are there any other ahas or takeaways? There were some good ones that you guys shared. I want to thank you so much for being here tonight. Do you have any questions for me? Any questions for me before I sign off today? I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. Yes, I'm the mom strategist. I support clients with both life and business success. Once you blow up, you create a standard of excellence for yourself to meet. Absolutely. No doubt about it. And you walk right into it. And then you become accountable around it, right? Because you have to, right? How do you apply this to other areas than sales? Well, this applies to every area of your life. Like, it's not just sales. It's every area of your life. You have an up-leveled mindset. It can apply to your marriage, right? So you start to be accountable when you start realizing what you have access to. When you start thinking about the wealth of what love looks like in your home. When you start thinking about when you walk in your house, that you're not trying to build a house that you're not trying to vacation to escape your life. You're trying to build a life you want to come home to, so the reality is this all applies. The fact of the matter, when you understand that, like, a great relationship, it's scarce, it's rare, right? Like, I'm just saying, when you realize that it's your responsibility in your life and in your marriage to show up. I'm talking to those of you who are married. I'm just giving you an example. You stop hiding. You stop feeling like you can't be vulnerable in your relationship. You can't say what you really need and feel. I'm just saying, right? Talk about standing tall, looking at your family and saying, this right here is mine, right? I'm not going to act like, I know everybody else out there is acting like no big deal marriage. No, this marriage right here, this is mine. Okay. And I'm going to do whatever I can to make it phenomenal, to make it hot, to make it loving, right? To model for my family something absolutely amazing. You know, this family right here is scarce. How about that? And I want my kids to understand, because it's scarce, it is valuable. All right. I'm just trying to break this down. And if we're talking about this as it relates to systems in your world, it's like, look, here's the system that I want to do. I want to create for my family. It's called the system of showing my kids what it looks like to have a loving relationship, what it looks like to have longevity in our household and in our family. That's what I'm talking about. We say associate up. People are saying that people can't be together. How about associating with some people who have figured it out, who I can learn from, who can teach me and my husband how we can have 22 more years in our relationship to be able to be together and love one another, right? When we talk about others are going to want to know what you're doing, because when you're outside and you guys are holding hands, or you're still dating after 22 years of marriage, people are going to want to say, 22 years, you guys are still dating? When you're pinching him on the butt in the supermarket, people are going to say, what's that? You're modeling for the world what it looks like, not because you're putting on a show, but because you're living your truth. That's what I'm talking about. And the fact of the matter is, it's wealthy, okay? It's wealthy to have a relationship that's meaningful, that fuels you, that's loving and kind, and that allows you to be a creative being, be impactful in this world. Try doing something amazing and great, and your home life is jacked up, or you don't feel good about who you are because of what's going on in your home. That's what I'm talking about. You're going to want to be accountable and say, what do I need to do to keep this thing hot and amazing and loving and kind and enveloped by God's love? I just wanted to give you an example of how it can apply to any single thing in this world. It doesn't have to apply to business. I'm just saying this can apply to any single thing. I just talked about it from a business angle, but what I'm telling you is that it's real. That's what an up-leveled mindset of what it looks like. And the fact of the matter is, and we need it more than ever in marriage, because nobody's talking about it anymore. Amen. You've been married for 37 years. Only thing you hear people talking about is that the divorce rate is over 50%. You know, and I'm not against that. Okay, I'm just saying that I've got a different story to tell. And for people who want to hear that story, or people who are looking to figure out, how can I have longevity in my relationship? How do I choose the right partner for me? You know what I mean? How do I change who I am so that I can realize what I have in my world? Okay, 14 years going on 15 years. Awesome, right? And so that's what happens when you have an up-level vision and you start to call it out. People, you know, you start to, you know, people come out. You know what I mean? And share with you, you know, their joy, right? And I think that's wonderful, right? It makes you accountable. And so hopefully that answered your question as it related. I don't even remember the exact question, but as it related to, you know, this applies to anything in your world and in your life. And this is what an up-leveled vision looks like to me. Are there any other quick questions for me? I hope that you guys got value from the scope today. If so, hit that little guy here on the Periscope screen so you can get a notification the next time that I come on. And if you haven't shared yet on Twitter, on Facebook, and of course on Periscope, please do. Thank you so much. Because we know other people will benefit equally by understanding that an up-level vision is going to change how you show up 100%. Hey there, Janelle. Good to see you. All right. I want to thank you for your time today. I'm going the last time. Any final questions or comments? Any final questions or comments? Did you guys get value today? I hope so. Thank you so much for sharing on Twitter, on Facebook, and of course on Periscope, because look, let's just send some good vibrations out there in this world. I am so excited. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for being here tonight. Also, if you are interested in working with me, you're my Periscope community, I will tell you, you need to sign up for my email list, because there's some really great promos that are coming out. So at MiaRedrick.com, Mia, M-I-A, Redrick.com, MiaRedrick.com. Really easy, MiaRedrick.com. Sign up for my list so you don't miss out on anything, okay? I want to thank you guys for your time tonight. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.